No, sis, not yet. Peace and blessings, family. Once again, thank you. You can be anywhere, but you're with us on Saturday evening. All right, June the 13th, 2026. I'm your guest host. My name is Brother Forrest Nance, and headquartered up here in Brick City, better known as Newark, New Jersey, not too far away from where I'm sure King Simon has his roots in Brooklyn, New York. And like I said, I mentioned some names when I shook the brother's hand, took a picture with him. I've always cherished that. It's on our Facebook page. And I asked the brother about some of the healers over in Brooklyn he was aware of, and I went over there, and I had the pleasure of exchanging information with them. Mama Naya and Sister Shadidi, one of the original 7 black acupuncturists over there in Brooklyn, New York, all right, Dr. Spooner. So without further delay, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to the table my dear brother, King Simon. All right, King Simon, I know you're in the house, correct?
Greetings. Yes, sir. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. It's good to hear your voice again, and I hope to see you again. In fact, next time I have to come over here across the water, me and Sister Arlene and maybe some of my comrades over here to visit you, because I'm going to tell y'all, family, it's worth you taking the time out of your schedule to hear this brother and see this brother. He did a break dance and threw rose petals on the floor. It was beautiful. But without further delay, brother, could you explain to us, all right, because some of us know we are conscious up here, and for those who don't know, numerology, and in the brother's presentation, he did mention that his teacher was Brother Lloyd Strahan, who I had the pleasure of seeing a couple of years back, all right? And when Lloyd was talking, he said how Minister Farrakhan had mentioned to him that what he had was the supreme mathematics. All right,
yes.
That's one of the highest compliments that anybody could pay someone, and coming from the minister, yes, okay. So
yes.
Without further delay, the brother's going to explain to you what he excels in. He does a wonderful job. So King Simon, I'm going to give you the mic, and then going forward, I'll ask questions. I'll open up for Q&A real quick.
Great. And let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. Am I allowed to speak, Elder?
Yes, sir, my brother.
Yes, sir. What's so funny, you mentioned Professor Smalls, and him and I are out here at the Ancestral Tribute at Coney Island right now. So I just passed him, and we was just talking. So, yes, first and foremost, family, numerology is an old metaphysical science, and it was coined by a woman in 1907 and her name was Dr. Julia Seaton. Her name was Dr. Julia Seaton. So as much as the system of numerology or the study of numbers, because that's all numerology means, it means the study of numbers, as long as it's been around from Pythagoras and before him, because he did travel, according to legend, that he traveled for 22 years, left Greece, because he couldn't find that knowledge in Greece, couldn't find it in Rome or any other place over around that area. He had to go towards the melanated areas. And it's important that people know that exactly what it means. Numerology means the study of numbers. Numero is the Latin word for numbers, and of course, ology means the study of or the knowledge of something. So like biology and zoology and all these. So you got to understand, anytime ology is at back of something, whether it's astrology, numerology, or what cardology, that means the study of something. And when it comes to numerology, it's the study of numbers on all aspects, not just one aspect. So even when you're counting, that's a study of number. When you're looking at the clock, that's a study of number. But it's a study of number and how you apply it and its different applications. So if you're dealing with the clock system and studying that, they got a name for that. If you're dealing with mathematics or different sciences, they got a name for that. But the study of numbers encompasses all of that, because every main science that we know, the foundation of it is mathematics. And mathematics is connected to the use of the symbols called numbers. In the metaphysical science, so it is too. The numbers are the foundation. And man did not invent numbers. Don't let them put you under illusions. Man discovered numbers, but they did not invent numbers. And that's the illusion that they try to put on you, because they're not letting you know that mathematics and the study of these symbols, or symbology, the study of symbol, that's what symbology means, that is numbers are symbols, and they are connected to the patterns, cycles, and sequences of life in general. So once you understand that, you can cut out all of the mystery. All of the mystery is cut out, and now you know the history. It gets a little deeper now. It goes into more, you have different studies of numbers, whether you study it from Japan, whether you studying it from whether you're studying Chinese, whether you're studying if you're studying gematria and all these different Kabbalah and all these different other types of things. You always got to be very mindful that every one of them have their own levels and every one of them have their own understanding. But again, it goes back to the study of numbers, the study of numbers. So, to keep it simple, again, numerology means the study of numbers or the science and knowledge of numbers. Go ahead, my brother. Sorry.
Now, King Wisdom, when I was at your presentation, your talk that you had with us, you had mentioned a certain the first name you took. Because I remember when Lloyd came, he broke down the numbers in your first name, all right, and what they're linked to. All right. Now, is there? Because, like I said, brother, I'm so tied into dealing when we do our health events. Trying to find out the protocols for health and stuff like that. Numerology and astrology. Can you explain the difference, or is there a tie-in with that?
Well, they're like brother and sister, so to speak. They're like brother and sister because, of course, astrology is a study of the astros connected to, or the macro cosmic aspects connected to us in the microcosmic of the astrological bodies out there. That's why you don't just deal with the sun sign. Of course, you got the moon, you got the Venus, you got all different types of houses in it. But when you look at astrology, the only way that you find out the astrology sign, most of the times, if not all of the time, is when you have to find out the person's birthdays, which is connected to numbers. So that's why I say they are like kin to each other. And that's why Lloyd, after all these years, coined the word astronumerology, because he learned to combine the best. His first love was astrology because he was a very shy guy. But then he got into numerology because he's seen the contrast and the connection between the two. And there is a connection between the two because it's a study. And, of course, again, all of these things are connected to numbers, patterns, cycles, and sequences, probabilities, statistics, and possibilities, if you understand those the scientific dynamics behind them. What we do when it comes to astrology, I do more of a thing that I've created out of my own system called numerovation, because I created a word that I put in the lexicon dictionary, and it is building its algorithms now, but it's called numerovation, which I use the numbers to motivate you, which all numerologists are supposed to do, but I specifically do that because I think our people need more motivation and understanding different holistic angles that our numbers can take and use on multiple levels. And I see everything from a holistic, and I'm not talking about holistic from a W-O-L. I'm talking about from a H-O-L. I'm talking about a holistic from W-H-O-L, whole, W-H-O-L-E, listic, holistic. So I want to see things from all levels, and that's what Dr. Laila Africa taught us back in the day, to look at things from a holistic. As a matter of fact, Dr. Africa was a publisher of my 3 books. He was my publisher for 3 of my books already. No promotion is bad promotion. Numbers are simple, people are complicated, and numbers are simple. Children's health is important. So I have a book dealing with the health also connected to numbers. And I know Lloyd in his book has a segment in his book, but that particular book, Numbers Are Simple, Children's Health is Important, is particularly guided and directed to health and the numbers that it's connected to.
Okay, now, right, yes, sir. Well, with that being said, like I said, I think I mentioned to you because I've had the opportunity to meet some people that you know, and also Layla happened to be one of them 20 years ago. And last year we were fortunate enough to have Dr. Stevenson at our health event. She came through. And it was wonderful. Sister was. I wanted to ask. I got the one there. She told me to get up. I said, "Listen, Layla." He spent time with me in the health store, and we were talking for a while. I got to my blurred vision, and we were talking about that. Okay, so now with that being said, before we go further, is there anyone at this early point, because I won't go too far, because somebody might have a question up front. If not, I'll just continue to talk to our dear brother while he's giving us some of his precious time. Is there anyone so far from what you've heard would like to ask King Simon a question or make a comment? Step right up.
Step right up. Hurry, hurry.
Go right ahead. Somebody just made a comment. You want to say something?
No, I sang something. I sang Step Right Up. Hurry, hurry. I'm sorry. One of the songs. When you said that, I thought of a song.
Oh, okay. So at this particular time, family, all right, anything, because, I mean, some of you guys I know is in my head, your first name, all right, the brother can kind of break down, am I right, Brother King? That if they have a certain amount of numbers in their first name, you'll be able to tell them, give them an idea of where they're headed or what they mean or the power within their name, the first name?
Well, it's not just, when you're dealing with the power, when you're dealing with your name represents the active part of you. The first name represents the active, the middle name represents the bridge, and the last name represents what you inherited or your heritage. So if you have your last name of your mother or your father, that is what you inherited from that particular family. You know what I'm saying? So, but the first active name that you're called by constantly, and of course you could also go by the nickname that you're called by constantly. It's those require different methods of using numbers. So right now, because I'm out in the park right now, I'm not in front of my desk to like write down names and all that kind of stuff. It's right now, but I can still spit things off my head when it comes to certain things. But I just want to let people know that if a person is calling you by a certain name, let's say your name is Tyrone, and all of a sudden your family want to call you Ty or T, then the time if you're called by those nicknames, then predominantly those nicknames also develop a meaning and a frequency and energy behind it. So sometimes a lot of numerologists, especially Lloyd will say go to the Chaldean if you're constantly seeing nicknames and all that. Me, I still say use both systems, because when you do a session with me, I use the Pythagorean and the Chaldean together, and sometimes I even put their equations together to find out another different meaning. And sometimes people's first name was actually their middle name. Like I personally use my middle names. I never liked my first name. And then when I found out the frequency and the number of my first name, guess what? I use my middle names instead. And I have two middle names, Anthony and Simon. So I chose to use those two middle names instead of using my first name, because then like I said, when I found out the frequency, and then I found out while I was studying numbers that first name was connected to my challenge numbers. It's not that I don't use it, but I know that I'm going to attract certain challenges that will either make me better or make me worse by using that name. And when I was using that name, I got kicked out of 3 high schools. When I got, all kinds of stuff happened when I was using that name. So it comes with discipline, but it comes with overcoming the challenge. All of us have challenge numbers, challenge birthdays, challenge numbers, challenge frequencies, or challenge signs that might be against us or might seem to be against us. But sometimes it's about overcoming the challenges. So challenges are not negative. Challenges are just a reminder that sometimes you came to this realm at certain particular times to overcome that number, overcome that challenge, overcome that frequency that is presented in front of you at this particular time. And it could be at different times of your life, whether it's your childhood, whether it's while you're a teenager, while you're middle age, whatever. So your old age, those challenges can still pop up in and out of your life until you conquer them and get over them and overcome the challenge of them. You understand?
Yes, sir. King Simon, now the 2 counters that you just presented, all right, because some people probably, could you break those down real fast? And is that linked to Kemet, of course?
Which one? The 2 systems?
The 2 systems, you said you mentioned them many calendars.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Well, the Chaldean.
The Chaldean
numerology.
Is another one that started with the M, correct?
The Chaldean starts with the C. C-H.
And there was didn't you say there were 2, or was just the Chaldean one you just mentioned?
I was talking about the Pythagorean. The Pythagorean, that's the one that comes from Pythagoras. Now, he started in Greece, and then he went and studied amongst the melanated people outside of Greece. So he had to go to Kemet, he had to go to India, but for 22 years he was gone, and then brought it back to Greece and became the father of numbers, or the father of mathematics. So yes, they do go and study amongst the melanated people, and Kemet being one of them, because India had their own counting system. Everywhere in the world had their own counting system and recognition of patterns. I don't know if he made it over here in the Americas, but I know he definitely, according to the history of Pythagoras, he studied amongst those other people from India. Kemetic, of course, we could go to Stolen Legacy and see a lot of what George G.M. James spoke about, but also in India and all these other various places that are connected to us of darker hue. And Chaldea is a dark hue nation. That's the place that Abraham came from, or was born from Chaldea and Ur, according to the Bible, according to biblical theology, and that was a melanated area also. So the Chaldea had their own system of numerology also, which went up to only 8 because they revered the number 9 so much that they only had their system and their system of numerology go up to number 8, because when the number 9 show up, the positive of the number 9 is humanitarian and saving and being of service. The negative of the number 9 could be destruction or war and all that. So they revered the number 9 very much. And even when you add the number 9 together, or add the number 9 with any number, except and when you multiply the number 9 with any number, you got different things that show up. It always brings back to self or reflects that number that is added to. So it's very important that we understand why number 9 and even 0 is a very important factor in numerology and the study of numbers. And then as they kept on discovering more, because again, we did not invent numbers as human beings. It's always with us, was here before us, and will be here after us. Because according to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we have no birth record. So we was here with all of it. So until we understand those type of understanding, those type of sciences that take us back into history and time and all of that memorial, as much as people like to say time is an illusion, but I respect what Dr. Valentine says, because Dr. Valentine says time is an element. Linear time is an illusion. And linear time, dealing with the clock and all that, what they created to recognize day and night and go through the time so we could work and all of that. But if we're moving and growing through time, and this time is really an element, it's just probably not called by the same name in different languages, but time is something we move through from infanthood all the way to adulthood to older age, and then we transition in this element of time and come back and recycle. So we got to understand the different. So when a person say that time is an illusion, they're right on one half, but on the other half, they're not right, because they got to understand we are still moving through some type of element that helps us to grow and go through what we have to go through life. It's still there, So time is an illusion as far as the clocking system is concerned. But
it's still moving.
We're moving through time.
Well, with that being said, when someone says to you, because I do have one of my brothers, he does good research, he talks about the land of make-believe. So you're saying all of that is not just necessarily an illusion, that there is some reality to that?
Yes, because two things could be true at the same time. Mm-hmm. So because they set up the clocking system to map out time, but remember that clocking system didn't come from Europe. We had already studied all of that. That's why in Dendera they had the whole cycle of the astrology cycle on the top or on the roof of that building or the ceiling of that building. So we already studied the cycles and understood the cycle of the universe and the patterns of. They just brought it down, because when man don't understand it, they bring it down to their level so they could understand it. That's why the clock always have a round look, and they have going around in the right way or the left way, depending on which one. Because in the astrological world, things go left from right to left. In this world, it goes from from left to right. So they seem to switch things up, which they're known to do in history. But always understand, whatever is being put down as far as a clock is concerned, they studied it from ancient history and then brought it down to man's understanding. They brought it down to make a man always trying to understand. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, of course. They've always lied and stole from us from the very beginning. Right. I got a brother from one of the old school brothers from the nation. He's always say they lie, but they lie. He just says that. He makes you believe it, even if you be like, huh? You know the right question, because it's been with the brother for so very, very long. My dear brother Robert Slade, who's now 87 years young, but
wow.
Yeah, but also, it sticks out in my mind, like you said, the book by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. When
yes.
I remember that because my father, we had a store, and my father used to hire the brothers from the nation to work in the store, and he'd say, Brother Forrest, now read message to the black man. Now, Brother Forrest, read how to eat to live. And I thought I would starve myself reading that book. I said, 1 meal a day, oh no, I'm going to starve. But now we practice intermittent fasting. I know I do.
Exactly. Me too.
And now, the last 3 months, brother, I think I shared with you. I know you said you had fish. I said, well, brother, I just transitioned from vegan. Now I'm doing raw food. So I'll see how that feels. And I feel great, And like I said, 69 years young, no medications.
Yes,
still working with my vision. I explained that to you. But other than that, I'm good, and no complaints. Like I said, it's always a challenge in life, like you mentioned earlier in your oratory,
Right.
And it's a beautiful thing. And like I said, fam, you got to see this brother in person, man, because his energy, you feel his energy in the spirit, And also, you can't mess with him now because one of his instructors was Moses Powell. So like we had brother Kareem Abdullah over here. That brother had Moses Powell. And I remember being 15. Moses Powell came with his school over here to Newark Symphony Hall, and they all had red geese on. I said, what's wrong with these guys rolling on stage like that, man? Master Duncan.
Yes, that's what we do.
I remember that, and you know what? Maybe one of them people rolling might have been at that time King Simon. I didn't even know. I didn't meet the brother.
What year was that, sir?
Oh, brother, I'm talking about going back to early 70s, man. 71.
No. I didn't get on Dr. Powell until and Professor Anthony and GM Soki Littlejohn until 89, 90. So no, I wasn't there for that one. No, I wasn't there for that one.
Right. I think I got you by a decade. So yeah, that was when I was 59. Young. But I never forgot they did the one finger. I said, man, that guy gonna break his finger. He did a one finger push. Hey, Bruce Lee ain't doing one. Y'all can do a one finger push up now. I'm just telling y'all. I saw that right in the front. I was sitting right in the front. My boys and the neighbors go, wow, you see that? And the next thing you know, everybody around here in North paying to go to the dollar movies to watch the kung fu movies. They used to be real prominent over here back in the 99-cent bargain. Everybody walking around with karate gis on and kung fu shoes in the street. That was a time, boy. It was funny, boy.
Yes,
everybody thought they knew karate back then. Some studied, some did,
Some people,
you gonna say something, brother?
Some people knew crazy, not karate.
Not karate. James Brown said that good in his record. Yeah, I don't know karate, but I know crazy. Yeah. Now, also, okay, so you know what? Hold on. We have the spirit of the moment here, brother. Like moment. Anyone, come on now. Step up from what the brothers educated us on. Okay, here you go. Go right ahead, sis.
All right. Okay. So this is Arlene Ramsey. How you doing, brother King Simon? I heard a quote years back that says, "Millionaires study astrology, billionaires study numerology."
J.P. Morgan.
As I hear you breaking down numerology and understanding that mathematics is actually the universal language or the foundational language, I shall say.
Yes.
When you talk about our names and how you can break that down numerically to enlighten us on what our inheritance is, right? You also give direction on how to obtain the inheritance. That's the first question. The second question is, what if there's I don't know if this is such a thing, but I'm just asking, what if in a person's name there's all or the majority negative in numerically?
Right. Well, you got to remember. Just remember, numbers have positive and negative. It always have its duality. Always.
Okay.
So now, if you feel you have that because of probably prior readings you've had, that's I would say that person did a disservice to you, because they should always pull out the positive and not just always go to the negative. You got to remember the negative, or what I would call the challenges, is just to remind you that there's certain things you have to overcome. That's all they're telling you. It's all it's telling you. So it's not that it's negative. Now, you might have a name that probably goes that might be a challenge to your birthday. So that can also cause a challenge. Like there might be a name that might be going against your father or your mother's number energy. Now, how do you overcome that? That's why I do numerization, because there's a way to it. And if you're not willing to do it, that's up to you, because people can get all the information they want. But at the end of the day, if you're not willing to do the work, go to the counseling, go get your mental health counseling, go get your therapy, go get your relationship there, sit down with your mother and father with a neutral person, just in case those are challenges. Because my mother and father are born under challenges frequencies to me, especially to my birthday. And I see why they gave me that first name, because that first name was a supportive frequency to them. Both being born under Libra, one being born under Taurus, and Libra and Taurus share the same number, 6. And 6 is one of my challenge numbers. So I had to recognize that 6 is one of my challenge numbers and say, and because 6 is one of my challenge numbers, 6 is the number of balance, truth, justice, reciprocity. But on the negative, 6 is a number that deals with being hard-headed, not agreeing or not working. So I was hard-headed for most of my life with my parents until I got older and started to go to my own counseling and sat down with both of them to find balance, healing, truth, reciprocity, and forgiveness with them. So you could use it. So every number, every astrology frequency has their positive and negative, but it's up to you to do the work. Remember, the earth is the learning center. You're here to learn. And some of us learn the lessons. Some of us leave here without learning the lessons.
That's right.
Maybe we have to come back here, just like when you're in high school, and if you don't finish high school, guess what? You got to repeat it again. You don't pass that grade, you got to repeat that grade. Guess what? It can happen. Where do you think they get this information from? Why do you think they got things like when you go to school and you don't pass that grade, guess what? You got to repeat that grade again. They're studying mystical, ancient knowledge that taught that. They put it in your school system, but they put it in disguise, and they make it look negative. But again, if you don't learn, you're going to have to return and do it again another way. You know what I'm saying? But what was the first question? I missed your first. What was the first question again, sister? I didn't catch that one again, please.
So the first question is, do you offer direction on how to obtain the inheritance?
Right.
Earlier you did say some of our names reflect inheritance that we have gotten.
Okay. The last name is your heritage name. It's what you inherit from your parents that had that name. And maybe if they didn't use that last name correctly, you're the one that's supposed to take it to the next level, because all of our children's children are supposed to take us to the next level. Some do, some don't. Some get caught up in traumas and dramas of our past because we didn't break the cycles. Remember, everybody talks about breaking traumatic cycles. It's about breaking the cycles. But if you're not willing to do that work, I can't deal with my father. No, I can't deal with my mother. I can't. But you ain't going to therapy for it either, to deal with it. You ain't doing what you're supposed to do to get your mind right, even if you can't deal with your father and can't deal with your mother, because your mother and father, you have their last names, they inherited something from their mother and father, and vice versa, and kept on going back to the point we have this thing called post-traumatic slave syndrome, like Dr. Joyce grew. You have post-traumatic frequency syndrome too. People pass this thing down. For real.
That's true.
And
that's true.
We're not doing it. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. Great information. So now, using myself as an example, I have my mom's last name, Ramsey.
Okay.
But let's say, that's a negative inheritance, and I understand there's duality. I wasn't raised with my father, but I know my dad's last name. Is that something that can be worked into the plot where I can, create a better outcome?
Yes. And because you're born, and what's so funny about you, because you're born December 13th, correct?
Yes, yes.
I remember your birthday. I remember the birthday. 13 is a number that deals with you need to work, because remember, 13 is the number of power and dominance and dominion. And if you don't use that power, you will wreak havoc on yourself. And the only way that you're going to use that power of in your being born under that personal number of the third, of course, there's more to it, your life path and all that kind of stuff. But I'm looking at your personality. There's times when you could be in your own head, and if you're in your own head holding on to things, that could be the problem.
Okay.
And because remember, numbers did not come to control us. They came to guide us. So none of the numbers connected to your name or your birthdays here, or your first name, your last name, your mother's last name, or your father's last name came to control you. You are the power. And if you don't realize that you got the power, if you don't realize that you got the power and not using it, that's up to you now. Maybe your daughter or your child, when you have one, is supposed to do it because you're not doing it. And a lot of young YNs and younger people don't want to have children, but suppose Garvey's mother said they didn't want to have a child. We wouldn't know the greatness of Garvey. If Jesus' mother said she didn't want to have a child, we wouldn't know the greatness of a Jesus or Muhammad or Harriet Tubman. We got to stop this. That's one of the greatest things that we came to do on this planet. Some can have it, some might not. And if you can't have children, then go to your nieces and nephews and help them. Or go be a guide or a judgment to other children. If your womb can't produce it. Right. Stop saying don't have children because it's children that's supposed to be the future.
Right.
What are you doing?
Right.
So you can break those patterns of the Ramses. Again, Ramses comes from Ramesses. Go back to Kemet now. Now you can go back to the history of who Ramesses. Go study Ramesses 1 and 2. Go study the history of Ramesses.
Right.
Because that name, Ramses, comes from Ramesses.
Okay. And so another question. So to book your services,
okay.
Do we travel to you? You travel to us, or this is something that can be done virtual?
Yeah, I do it over the phone. You do it over the phone.
That will come in the end when he's going to give out the information.
Okay.
Right.
You're privy to that anyway, being the vice president. Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Correct. Thank you very much. I'll let the next person ask.
No problem.
You got the sister fired up over there, King Simon. All right.
Hey, she's a Sagittarius. She should be fired up.
Yeah, she already remembers you when we went to see the brothers. See, there you go.
She's good people. She gave me a good hug, man. She's good people. Yes.
She gave you the hug. I gave you the shake, brother, because I really appreciate it. Yes. Right. I was inspired by you. All right, now listen. Now, I scanned the room. There's a few of y'all up here. Questions, comments? Come on, about the brothers laying down the knowledge and the wisdom. Come on.
Yeah. Got to get ready to go soon, cause I'm still at this.
Come on, family. Got to get ready to go. Come on now.
Yeah.
Y'all got names out there. You don't want to ask questions about your name.
Some people.
Okay,
Hello?
there you go, brother. There you go. And I know there's some guys up here. Come on, brother. Go ahead, sis.
This is Rashad's wife.
I can't hear you,
Sister Betty, okay.
Yes, I want to know about my birthday. I was born June 29th, 1950. My name was Bessie Crenshaw at the time that I was.
Mm-hmm. Right. You said your name was what?
Crenshaw.
Uh-huh.
But my father, that married my mother under Crenshaw, he didn't find that his last name wasn't Crenshaw. His last name was Brooks. But
his last name was what?
Brooks.
Brooks?
Yes.
Okay, Brooks. Okay. Now, do you have a relationship with your father?
He's deceased now, but
okay.
It wasn't a very good relationship, but
it's interesting because you're born on you say you're born 6/29, correctly? Correct?
Yes.
29 is a number of healing, but also the need to finish the job of healing, because 2 + 9 = 11. A lot of numerologists will break it down to the 11 and then to the 2. But one thing that you came here to do is either heal the relationship or learn to find balance in what you did get from your mother and what did you get from your father. Are you able to study the history of your father or find out from his sister or brother or anybody, or no, you don't have no connection with him?
I had connection with my father, yes.
Okay. So and you said y'all wasn't that tight, correct?
No, we wasn't.
Right. Now, which name are you using? Are you using his name or your mother's last name?
Well, I've been married, so.
Okay.
But
now
I was using Crenshaw until I got married.
Okay, and you're married now, right?
Yes.
And the funny thing about that, when you marry somebody, especially women, you're going to take on the last name of your husband. Mm-hmm. Now you need to know what's the frequency behind his last name on top of your last name. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because there's more energy. Again, and like when I do a service, ma'am, I really look at all of your power numbers and your challenge numbers or your character building numbers to help you get through them, because at the end of the day, after you do the session, it's are you willing to do the work, or are you not going to do the work? Are you willing to do, because, again, you're born on the 29th, and most people born on the 29th came here to heal, came here to reveal, and are very intuitive people. Your dreams, when you remember them, to be very vivid, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? So your job is to stay in tune with because 29 adds up to 11. 11 is the doorway between the spiritual and the physical realm. So whatever you get spiritually download or your dreams, you have to write them down immediately. Put them to work and find out and decipher what they mean. Because you're not here. People that's born on the 29th. Michael Jackson was born on the 29th. Oprah Winfrey was born on the 29th. Dr. Sadie's wife was born on the 29th. Chadwick Boseman was born on the 29th. People born on the 29th came to do some great things, as long as they be careful and be in tune to remember to be very careful of energy drainers, people that come to drain your energy. Mm-hmm. And if your father's last name is Brooks, right? That's your father's last name?
Yes.
With the double O in there, those are two master number frequencies in two different systems. Double O in the Pythagorean is 66. Double O in the Chaldean is 77. So 66, your father was his family was supposed to bring some form of healing, if possible. But if he was hard-headed, because 6 can be a hard-headed number, and then 77 is another form of spirituality, but if they're to themselves and they're mentally ill, that can be a problem in that family that holds the last name Brooks. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like Mel Brooks, we could tell he's a comedian, and most comedians have issues, have mental issues with their family, and then they put it on the stage and they create things because they need to get it out in another way. Just like studying Mel Brooks' life, you can see. So anytime you see Brooks and we see double numbers and double letters in people's names, those double letters in people's name, like a double R or a double O, enhances what the actual frequency of that name is also. And you could also use those numbers as a form of guidance to direct yourself and be guided to it. So when I do people's session, I look for all of that. Where some numerologists will not look at the double O's. If you're born under Morris, they won't look under the double R's. They won't. If you name Billy, they won't look at the double L's. They just add everything across. But those doubling numbers in your first, middle, or last name pull is another extra guiding mechanism for you if you tap in and use them well. You only got one life according to certain people. You only got one physical life, and then you might have to come back again in another life. But at least do what you got to do in this life. What you got to lose? Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Everything you want to accomplish. And I'm talking to you. I'm talking to myself too. I had to remember that. Everything you want, because sometimes people born on the 29th second guess themselves. Overthinking and not saying, you know what? Let me just do this and stop playing. Let me just do this and stop playing. Especially if it's positive and productive. Mm-hmm. Only do it if it's positive and productive. Okay?
Okay.
But hopefully your book, we could go through your whole name and your birthday and see how it's connected. If you want to do a session with me, we could do all of that. I touch all the names if that's what you need. But I tell people do at least a 30-minute or a 60-minute session. Mm-hmm. And then we can and it's recorded and it's sent to you so you can listen to it over and over again for your own needs. Okay?
Okay.
All right, dear. Have a great day.
Thank you, Sister Betty. Appreciate you. And I'll be calling Brother Rashad a little later on because he told me he had a little emergency, so we'll talk. I appreciate you, sis.
Hey, thank you.
All right. Thank you. I got 2 R's in my name, Forrest. So 2 R's, yeah, buddy. I mean, I'm good. Yeah, I don't second guess, but it's time for me to do something. I do it. Like they say, don't get ready, be ready. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the double R in Pythagorean is the 99, and in the Chaldean is the 22. So you got master number 99 and master number 22. So 99 means you always got to see things to its finish and complete the job, complete the task. 22
Correct.
means you're a master builder, that whatever you put to your mind, you need to build it and finish it. You understand?
Well, yes, sir. Well, thank you for that. Real quick, I know you're on time. All right, family,
yes,
step up. The brother's on time. Got a question about your name or whatever you want to ask? King,
Mr. Nance.
Go right ahead, sister.
I'm sorry, Mr. Nance. I'm just chiming into your podcast, Mr. Nance.
Okay, we're talking about numerology and the power of your name. All right. So, is there a question you need to ask? You just tuning in because you tuned in late.
I know. So,
all right.
To your guest.
You have to tune back in a little later on. Sorry about that, Sister LaToya, but I'm just trying to get the people who've been in for a while and see if they want to make a comment. All right, but appreciate you as always, sister. You know that.
Okay, I'll go back on mute then.
Thank you. All right,
permission to speak. Permission to speak?
Yes, permission granted. Go ahead, sis.
This is Chandra. I have an interesting story. I just heard comparison. My last name is Woodley, W, 2 O's, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
But my family name should be Brown.
Oh,
I was given my stepfather's name. And he would have been my stepfather. My mother was married to him, and I have his name.
Right.
So, but I was blessed. My father had nothing to do with me. I knew him.
Okay.
But I was blessed with his family. A loving grandmother, grandfather was there, cousins, aunts, all of that.
Right.
I've often wondered about the last name Brown, but I fell in love with Woodley.
Well, Brown, look at Brown in history, ma'am. How Brown has been very successful in history, because in the Pythagorean, my last name is Brown, ma'am.
Okay.
Interesting. My last name is Brown. Brown in the Pythagorean is 27, which adds up to a 9, which is not only a number of productivity and harvesting the elements of good things after being productive, but also in the Chaldean is a number 22, master builder, master teacher.
I am from St. Thomas. St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands. I have friends out there. Yeah, my family's from Jamaica and Cuba. So,
okay.
But you got to remember, also, you got John Brown's body, you got Buster Brown, Charlie Brown, Les Brown, Barry Brown, Dennis Brown, you have James Brown. You got so many Browns. The history of Brown, Chris Brown, the history of Brown, even to Chris, who's the youngest of the Browns now, is making a wave. There's something about that last name Brown that anytime it shows up, it's supposed to do great things. And that's where you have to utilize, if that's your father's last name, you can utilize it for a business name if you want. Any name that you have, let me make sure everybody's clear. If you are connected with your father's last name or your mother's last name, you could tap into any one of those names and make it either a business name or restaurant name or whatever. You can do whatever you want with a name. Again, the numbers connected to those names, pardon me, the stadium is right here making a lot of noise. Any numbers connected to your name, they're just there to guide you, not control you. They're here to direct you, to let you understand the pitfalls and some of the good walks that you could take in this lifetime while you're using that name. That's all. I tell people, don't get caught up in movies like Knowing and 23, which they mean well because they study numbers, but they're doing it from a morbid perspective, because numbers are connected to the towers dropping and the pandemic and all that kind of stuff numbers are connected to. I could break down all of that and go into that. I practice, my system is called numerovation. I want to motivate you, because the only way we're going to make the world better is by making the people better.
Right.
We got to make the people better.
Yes.
So you got a beautiful name, and all the names, whatever you choose to use, especially with the what you said, Woodley.
Can I add something?
Yes, ma'am.
I totally agree with you. I have come to view all of my ancestors with all their flaws and different things as human beings just like me. And I try to live like that, because I miss the mark, too.
Exactly. We all do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, sister. Thank you,
Shonda. Appreciate it. Anybody else next? Come on now. Step up.
Got a few more minutes, family.
All right. Come on, Ed.
Hey, King Simon, how you doing today?
Yes, sir. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Which one of Sabi's wives? Is the one in Brooklyn and one in California that was a 29? That is a 29.
One in Brooklyn. I talk to her before her birthday all the time. My birthday is February 1st. The one in Brooklyn, Ma.
Yes.
Yes.
Wise, beautiful spirit, definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful spirit, man. And I see she's the one that gave Sabi his name. Sabi. She's the one that named him. So people keep on forgetting.
Yes, indeed. She's firm. Very spiritual, indeed. Well, good brother, my mother's last name has 2 S's on it, maiden name, should I say. And I appreciate you sharing that because, that's power right there. I always liked the name anyway. I was thinking about making that, my created middle name,
That's good. No, you should. That's because remember, S in the Pythagorean is 1, 1, so that's 11. And in the Chaldean is 33. So you got the master number 11 and master number 33, which you're dealing with insight and downloading information and bringing it to fruition with the master number 11, because that's the doorway. And then 33 is the master healer, master teacher, and 33 is known as the Christ consciousness energy. So whatever you do with that, make sure you are healing and helping and being of service to people with that particular name with the double S. Very important. Very
now,
important.
How about 12760? That's my birthday. 12760, 12760, 1960, of course.
Well, you're born the same day as Dr. Africa. So you know what you came to do if you got the same birthday as Dr. Africa.
His birthday? What?
Dr. Laila Africa is born that day, January 27th.
I never knew that.
You know now, because I just spoke to his wife the other day. Melanie is a good friend of mine. We talk all the time. I used to spend time right before he passed on. I was there at the house about 3 months before he passed on. So, yeah, I'll stay there for a whole month. He used to always bring me out. He saved my life, actually, because he looked me in my eyes because he was an iridologist. He also did iridology. And he said, man, if you don't leave New York or get away from New York every now and then, you're going to kill yourself. And he said it. He was damn right. I started crying right in front of him. And from that day, we became best of friends 20 years ago. And he used to allow me to come to his house. But, yeah, he's born January 27th. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah, so all of that means, because remember, 27 is the productive and creative number, and you're supposed to equals a 9, which deals with humanitarian and service. You got to be a service. Period. If you're doing anything other than that, you get yourself in trouble. You might get arrested if you mess around. You mess around.
I plead the fifth.
Exactly. Because remember, 27 equals 9. 9 is connected to police and military and all that kind of stuff. You do well in the military or went into that kind of thing with that. But, you just got to be careful if you're doing any kind of foolishness on the street with that number also.
Indeed. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you. Keep being you, King Simon. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Hey, what's your website again? Hit your website out there so I can write it down.
Well, we're getting ready to do it right now because I got to get ready to leave right now, so we got to get ready to do it.
Okay, yeah. So everybody take pen and pad out. Here you go. Go ahead, Brother King.
All right.
I can't
hello?
I can't
Hello?
Wait. He's giving out information, family. Put yourself on mute while the brother's doing this. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. The way you can book a session with me, I have 10-minute session, and my 15-minute session are pre-recorded. That means with the 10-minute one, you get to text me 3 questions, or with my 15-minute, you get to text me 4 questions. If you want to talk to me directly, that's for the 30-minute and a 60-minute session. That's a live advisory session over the phone. We actually talk. I record it, and I send it to you after. Text me your full name and date of birth and an email. Let me say it again. Full name, date of birth, and an email to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. I'll say it one more time. 347-496-1022. And if you want to get any of my books, you can go to Amazon, or you can go to my link tree, but you go to Amazon and put King Simon, not Simon King. Simon King is a white guy that's write books, but King Simon. All my books is on Amazon. And from numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important. No promotion is bad promotion. Numerovation for mental stability, that's my last numerology book that I wrote. And then my children's book is called Let We Tell the Story. It's a simple Black history storybook for those that are born between 4 and 10 years of age. If you have any nieces or nephews or children, it's a good book. It's a Black history book based on one of my reggae songs that went up to number 5 on the chart when I was in 1989. So, okay.
Congratulations, brother, on that. Okay, so family, let me say this: the brother has to go, and we'd like to thank him for his time. I know I'll be in contact with the brother. Like I said, most high willing. Our next big event next year, all right, because I know his brother's going to stay healthy. I try very hard myself. We'll have him as a keynote speaker, and we'll be negotiating, brother. We'll be talking, and also I'll be calling you for a consultation myself, brother. You know?
No problem, brother.
So I appreciate you coming in. Tell Professor Smalls, when he came over here to East Orange about a year ago, I gave him and had the good ingredients in it. It was a sea moss bean pie. I gave him and he shook my hand. I was behind the table. I had some sea moss pies when he came over and gave a presentation over here at the Silver Stars Complex, the Silver Stars Singing Group, you know. So we had a wonderful time listening to the man. He got, he ran some stuff down over there.
Let me let everybody know that there's a 10% discount until June 22nd, because my grandmother's birthday is June 22nd, and she was the one that was a catalyst for me getting into birthdays and all that. So I have a 10% discount until June 22nd this month. Okay? So people know.
All right, brother. All right, my brothers and sisters. All right, brother. Peace and blessings to you and the family. I'll be in contact, King Simon. Thank you for your time, brother.
Appreciate everybody. Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank
y'all very much.
All right. Good evening, all. Thank you for letting me have this time. It is now 7:17. I may stay about 30, 40 minutes. Today's or this evening's topic, we're going to talk about the importance of meditation. I'm quite sure that many people already know how to meditate, or they understand the fundamentals of meditation, right? But